Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my videos. On this video there is lots to negotiate about. So according to ESPN, Manchester United are set to rival Chelsea for Declan Rice. Now Declan Rice is Frank Lampard's #1 target. And Frank Lampard was infuriated when he missed out on Declan Rice, because I think Declan Rice was valued at around £80 million. Last summer, I think Chelsea spent over £200 million. But we've been in for Declan Rice before. Declan Rice has been at West Ham for several years. I think he's played around 116 games in the Premier League for West Ham. He's got a contract with West Ham until 2024. And there's also an option to extend his contract for a further 12 months. Before he was at West Ham though, he was at Chelsea. He was in their youth academy for a good 7 or 8 years. He's only the age of 22. He's a defensive midfielder and he can also play as a centre-back. So would you take him at Manchester United? You know, he is well Premier League proven. So that's the breaking news on him. But I think Declan Rice actually prefers to join Chelsea over Man United, because he recently told his friends he wants to go to Chelsea. Now, I want to delve into some news on Paul Pogba. So, Paul Pogba has given an interview ahead of our top table clash against Liverpool. And Paul Pogba said that we are not on the same level as Liverpool yet, but he says we can win the Premier League. To Paul Pogba's credit, he has done well since he come back from that ankle injury. He was recently out with injury as well. Paul Pogba was out for the vast majority of last season with an ankle injury. Now there's a good chance that Paul Pogba will leave the football club in the summer. We have revealed our asking price. We want around £75 million. Paul Pogba has had a long-running transfer saga. Now, it's been saying that he could join PSG in the summer, because Paul Pogba's agent Mino Raiola has been in negotiations with PSG, and Mauricio Pochettino has identified Paul Pogba as his #1 transfer target. He's also been relentlessly linked with a return to Juventus. Paul Pogba did endure 4 good years with Juventus, and swap deals have been high on the agenda, because he did say that Juventus had offered us Aaron Ramsey as part of a swap deal for Pogba. It also said they offered us Douglas Costa as part of a swap deal for Pogba, but we rejected that. But it said that we were interested in an exchange deal. And it did say towards the end of last year that Juventus were only willing to pay £50 million. Pogba's also been relentlessly linked with a move to Real Madrid, and Barcelona and Inter Milan have been in for him before. This is his 5th season at the football club since he rejoined. Paul Pogba's won 3 trophies at the club so far, and that's the Europa League, the League Cup and the Community Shield. He's made over 100 appearances for us in all competitions. Don't forget, we had him when he was a lot younger under the Sir Alex Ferguson era, but we had to let him go due to limited appearances. He is our most expensive signing at the moment, because we paid £89 million for him. Now, like I've updated you several times, Paul Pogba's agent Mino Raiola told 2 Sport last month that his client's career at Manchester United is over. He said he's unhappy and he has to leave, and he's got no intentions of signing a new contract. Obviously, Solskjaer was furious with Mini Oriola's announcement because it was just before the game against RB Leipzig in the Champions League. Solskjaer actually did say earlier on this season that we can convince Paul Pogba to stay at the club if the club do win trophies. Now, earlier on in the season, we did trigger that 1-year extension on his contract, so he's under contract with Man United until June 2022. As far as I'm aware at the moment, there has been no talks whatsoever over getting him a long-term contract at the club. So that's the breaking news on Paul Pogba. Now I want to delve into some news on Donny van de Beek. So according to sources in Italy via The Independent, Inter Milan are willing to take Donny van de Beek on loan this month. Now, it recently said that Donny van de Beek has made his decision and he actually wants to stay at Manchester United and fight for his place. And Solskjaer was talking about him the other week, saying that, he's got a bright future at Man United, and he tips Donny van de Beek to emulate Fred and Lindelof by succeeding at the club. Donny van de Beek has found game time hard since he came to Man United. He seldom starts in the Premier League. He's only started 2 games in the Premier League so far, and that was against West Ham and Southampton. Obviously, most of his appearances have come from the bench. We got Donny van de Beek in a deal worth £40 million. We paid $35 million up front, and there was $5 million in add-ons. And you can play him in like 3 different roles. You can put him as a box-to-box midfielder. That was his predominant position at Ajax. You can put him as a number 10, and you can also put him out wide. Just want to give you some news, by the way, on Jesse Lingard. I think that Jesse Lingard is on his way out of Manchester United. Now, Sky Sports recently said that Jesse Lingard's representatives were in initial discussions with Nice over a loan move. It said that West Ham have been in negotiations with Jesse Lingard's agent. Sheffield United have also been in for him, but I don't think Lingard wants to go to Sheffield United. He said towards the end of last year that Real Sociedad were talking with his agent. Villa were in for him, and Rangers and Celtic were in for him. But actually, Solskjaer has said that he wants Lingard to stay at Man United for this month. Lingard has obviously lost his place in the team, but he has been part of the club for several years. I think he's into the final 6 months of his contract. But yeah, we are going to get rid of a few players this year. It said a few weeks ago that Solskjaer held talks with 6 players that he wants to get rid of in this January transfer window. Now, obviously, Timothy Fosu-Mensah's already left the club. He's gone to Bayer Leverkusen. He's the first player to leave in this January transfer window. Solskjaer's obviously said that Romero and Marcus Rojo are free to leave in this January transfer window, because he said their contracts won't be extended. Romero is obviously our 3rd choice goalkeeper. Romero's been at the club now for over 5 years, and Marcus Rojo, he's never really established himself as a first team regular. And Marcus Rojo's been at the club since 2014. We got him from Sporting Lisbon, and last season he was out on loan with Estudiantes. Phil Jones, will we offload him this month? Phil Jones has been very, very inconsistent. This is Phil Jones' 10th season at Man United, so he's been long serving at the club. He has been with us since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. Odion Ighalo, I think he'll leave. His loan expires at the end of this month. Ighalo seldom plays now, but to his credit, he was our top goal scorer in the FA Cup last season. The main explanation we got him on deadline day in January last year was to get a cover up to Marcus Rashford, because at the time Marcus Rashford was out with that back injury. I think we're also looking to get rid of Diego Dalot permanently. We're also looking to get rid of Andres Pereira permanently, because obviously at the moment Dalot's out on loan with AC Milan and Andres Pereira is out on loan with Lazio. There's obviously been rumours of Daniel James going out on loan, and there's been rumours of Brandon Williams going out on loan, because Brandon Williams is now our third choice left back. Now, as you all know, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's already revealed his January transfer plans, and he did say that January signings are unlikely. It's not that long now until the January transfer window shuts. This is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 5th transfer window as Manchester United manager. And Woodward did promise that he would back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in this January transfer window. Because I think all the transfer windows that Solskjaer's enjoyed so far, he hasn't been backed enough. But Woodward did say towards the end of last year that we will back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer with a long-term plan centred around summer transfer windows. I think our transfer budget's only, £20 million for this month. Can't really do much with that. But like I say, there has been a lot of players on our agenda. But, the board has been one of the biggest problems at the club for several years. Obviously, because they haven't backed any of the managers that we've had since Ferguson left, and our recruitment policy's been poor. Woodward's been at the football club since 2012, and the Glazers have been at the football club since 2005. So there you go. But like I say, now there's a lot of Man United fans that are Ole in. Earlier on in the season, there was a lot of Man United fans that were Ole out, including me. I was very, very critical of him, of how inconsistent we was. But like I say, with how good we have been in recent months, my perception has slowly started to change on him. We are top of the Premier League at the moment by 3 points. If we do beat Liverpool on Sunday, we will be 6 points clear at the top of the Premier League. Then we'll be in a very, very good position. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the first Man United manager to get us top at this stage of the season since Sir Alex Ferguson. So he's making good progress. But Solskjaer has said a few times, hasn't he, that Man United are not in the title races yet. He actually said that after our 1-0 win against Wolves, but he said if we are still challenging in March, he'll start to believe that we are in the title race. If we win the Premier League, it will be our 21st title overall, and it'll be our first Premier League title since 2013. It would be a remarkable achievement if we did win it. But I still don't think we'll win it this season, but we are certainly in it. We got to the EFL Cup semi-final this season, so Solskjaer does deserve credit for that. Obviously, we lost the EFL Cup semi-final to Manchester City 2-0, but we know how good Manchester City are, especially in the EFL Cup, because City have won it for the last 3 seasons in a row. They've reached now their 4th consecutive League Cup final. It was our 4th semi-final defeat in a row under Solskjaer. Solskjaer did well last season in his first full season because he got us qualification for the Champions League, got us 3rd, and he guided us to 3 semi-finals. And like I've said, despite our reluctance to back Solskjaer regarding transfers, I still think that he has made good signings as Man United manager. He's spent over £200 million at the club. And we've also seen a lot of players leave the club since he got recommended in. And we've also been very, very good away from home in the Premier League. We haven't lost away from home in the Premier League for almost a year now. And we are unbeaten in our last 11 Premier League games. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will certainly be Man United manager at the end of this season. I think he's going to be given at least another season at the football club. If he is, that will be his 3rd full season at Man United. This is his 2nd full season at the moment. And I did say this season was always going to be a big season for him. And you can say at the moment he is exceeding his expectations. Reflecting how long Solskjaer's been at the football club, he has learned quite a bit. You can probably say there's still a few things he's got to learn on the job, and obviously he has gained some managerial experience. Solskjaer's been Manchester United manager now for over 2 years. We appointed him in December 2018 to replace Mourinho. Obviously, he came in as the interim manager at the first, endured 3 months as the interim manager. And then obviously in March 2019, we give him the job permanently because he did well as temporary boss. Solskjaer has managed over 100 games as Manchester United manager in all competitions, and he has got a contract with the football club until 2022. We know that Solskjaer's not a top-level manager, but I think he could emulate into a top-level manager. Obviously, Man United is the 3rd club in his managerial career. Before he came to us, he was at Molde. He won a few Norwegian titles at Molde, but they're not a big club. And before he was at Molde, he was at Cardiff, and he endured a very, very short tenure at Cardiff. The main explanation he got sacked from Cardiff is because he ended up getting Cardiff relegated. But like I said, Solskjaer has been under pressure quite a few times since he got appointed in as Man United manager. Because obviously we have enjoyed bad periods under him. You can say there's a few times where Solskjaer was lucky not to be sacked. He was lucky not to be sacked after us getting knocked out of the Champions League. You can say he was lucky not to be sacked, with us losing 6-1 to Tottenham. You can say he was lucky not to be sacked at the first part of last season. But like I've said time and time again, our board have a soft stance on Solskjaer. Main explanation is because he's a club legend, but disregarding being a club legend, I think the board would be a lot more ruthless on him. There's 3 trophies that we can pursue this season. Like I've said, we can win the Premier League, we can win the FA Cup, and we can also win the Europa League. It's very, very imperative that we get our first trophy on the board under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. We haven't won a trophy for just over 4 years. And if we finish in the top 4, the top 3 this season, that would still represent a good season for Man United because, like I've said, that would give us something to build on. Like I said to you, when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came into the club, he was inheriting a lot of deadwood. And like I said, he has got rid of some of the deadwood. There's still deadwood in this squad. The vast majority of this team is Jose Mourinho's. We've spent over £1 billion since Sir Alex Ferguson left. That obviously includes what we've spent under Solskjaer, and we've brought around 36, 37 players in since Sir Alex Ferguson left. And I think a lot of the players we have brought in since Ferguson left haven't been the right calibre players for Man United, but we've made quite a few mistakes since Ferguson left, and that's one of the main explanations why we have been inconsistent. But Ole is our 4th permanent manager since Ferguson. You know, 3 managers have been sacked, and that was David Moyes, Louis van Gaal and Jose Mourinho. And we're not even really known as a sacking football club. But some people are starting to believe now that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is bringing the old Man United back. You know, of how good we have been in recent months, you know, with us being top of the table, with the comebacks we've done this season as well, because we have been behind in quite a lot of games this season, especially away from home. But like I've said to you, no one's going to replicate Sir Alex Ferguson's legacy, and no one's going to last as long as Ferguson did, you know, because Ferguson, endured 27 years at the club. He won a total of 38 major honours, including 13 Premier League titles. But Ferguson didn't settle in straight away, because don't forget, he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Manchester United. So it just shows you, doesn't it? It takes some managers time to settle in. You know, it took Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool time to settle in, because in his first 29 games, you know, his record was absolutely disastrous. But anyway, big game for Manchester United on Sunday against Liverpool at Anfield. I've already given you my preview for the game. I gave you my preview yesterday. I've already given you my starting 11 prediction of how I think Man United could line up. Now, it is the top of the table clash. If we do win, like I've said to you, we will be 6 points clear. If Liverpool win, they will be back top on goal difference. Man United and Liverpool are the 2 most successful clubs in England. Solskjaer did say after our 1-0 win against Burnley that he's ready for the Liverpool test. And he said our away trip to Anfield has come at the best time. And even Paul Pogba's ready for the big moment. Solskjaer did make an admission regarding Liverpool. He said that they have been the best team in England for like the past 18 months. But he said that Liverpool have been great for like the last 3 years. The last time we won at Anfield was back in 2016. You know, obviously it was a late goal from Wayne Rooney. You know, we had a good win at Anfield back in 2015. You know, 1-2-1. Juan Mata had scored twice in that game. We won at Anfield back in 2012. 2-1. That's when Robin van Persie was playing for us. But, you know, we haven't beaten Liverpool for around 3 years now, is it? I think the last time we beat them was it under the Jose Mourinho era. Obviously, this fixture at Anfield last season was 2-0 to Liverpool. You know, it was goals from Virgil van Dijk and Mohamed Salah. We lost the game at Anfield back in December 2018, 3-1. That was Jose Mourinho's final game as Manchester United manager. Anfield is a fortress. I think Liverpool are unbeaten in 68 Premier League games at Anfield. You know, they haven't lost at Anfield in the league since 2017. Liverpool did win their last game. They beat Aston Villa 4-1 in the FA Cup third round. But they are winless in their last 3 league games. But, you know, Jurgen Klopp is, you know, a very, very good manager. He's probably regarded as one of the best managers in the world at this present time. Last season, Jurgen Klopp extended his contract with Liverpool until 2024. I think he'll probably see out his contract. I think Liverpool have spent over £400 million on players, you know, since Jurgen Klopp got appointed in. Liverpool appointed Jurgen Klopp in 2015. He's been Liverpool manager for nearly 6 years now. He's won 4 trophies at Liverpool so far. Obviously, last season he won the Premier League. That was Liverpool's first title in 30 years. You know, they've won 19 titles now overall. They are one behind us because we're on 20. He won the FIFA Club World Cup and he won the Super Cup. And the season before, Jurgen Klopp won the Champions League. Liverpool have won the Champions League 6 times. Liverpool is the third club in his managerial career because before he was at Liverpool, he was at Dortmund. He won a few trophies at Dortmund, and before he was at Dortmund, he was at Mainz 05. Wasn't there? Like I've said to you, Liverpool are a team that like to keep the ball, they pass the ball well, they create good chances, and they do like to press. That'll probably be their game plan on Sunday, press and make it difficult for us to get out of our own half. But, you know, they have got some very, very good players in their team. Like I've said, you know, they've got Mohamed Salah, world-class player, but there has been games this season where he hasn't really been clinical enough in front of goal. You know, Sadio Mane, you know, he's a world-class player. Diego Jota has made a fantastic impact since he joined Liverpool. He joined Liverpool last summer, but he's out with injury at the moment. Liverpool have also got Roberto Firmino, who's good. They've got that Dick Origi. He's their backup striker, but I think they could sell him in the summer. They've also got that Shaqiri. I think they could sell him in the summer. Shaqiri makes an impact from the bench, doesn't he? Liverpool have also got a lot of midfielders in their team. They've got too many. That's why there's a few of their midfielders that are falling down the pecking order now. Obviously, they've got Jordan Henderson. He's a good player, but he's not world class. He's one of their first choice midfielders, is Jordan Henderson. They've obviously got Jorginho Wijnaldum. I think he could be leaving in the summer. Apparently, Barcelona want him. Liverpool have also got Thiago. They got him from Bayern Munich last summer. He's sustained a couple of injuries at Liverpool. They've also got Fabinho. Obviously, he's one of Liverpool's first choice midfielders. I think they've had to play him at centre-half though a few times because obviously the injuries that Liverpool have got to their centre-halves. I like Fabinho a lot, to be honest with you. Liverpool have also got Oxlade-Chamberlain. He's done well, but he's sustained some bad injuries since he became a Liverpool player. They've also got James Milner. James Milner surely will leave at the end of this season. Will he retire or will he go to another club before he retires? They've also got that Naby Keita. Now, he's not one of Liverpool's first choice midfielders. He's currently out with injury anyway. Liverpool have also got that Curtis Jones, who's a young player. They've got two fantastic fullbacks in Trent Alexander-Arnold and Andrew Robertson. They've also got that Tsikmas, who they got last summer. But he's currently out with injury. He wouldn't have started anyway. Obviously, Liverpool have got the best centre-half in the world in Virgil van Dijk. Liverpool paid £75 million for him, so he's the second most expensive centre-half in the world behind Harry Maguire. Virgil van Dijk's out for the season with a bad injury. They've got Joe Gomez as well, who's out for the season. He's one of their first choice centre-halves. Matip, is he going to be available for Sunday or is he not available? I think Liverpool will have to put Fabinho at centre-half on Sunday. They'll put him alongside a young'un if Matip isn't available. Liverpool have also got a very, very good goalkeeper in Alisson. Probably one of the best goalkeepers in the world at this present time. Like I said, Liverpool let quite a few players go last year. Klein left them, Lovren left them, Adam Lallana left them, Harry Wilson went out on loan, Trivella left, and Hoover went. So there you go. And for us, our team news, Martial could be available because his injury's not as bad as we first thought. He came off with a hamstring problem, didn't he, Martial? In our 1-0 win against Burnley. It said that Matic has also sustained an injury. But I think we'll make changes from the 1-0 win against Burnley. But like I said to you yesterday, you know, we've got some good players that could cause Liverpool problems. You know, Rashford could cause Liverpool problems. Bruno Fernandes could cause Liverpool problems. Greenwood could if he starts. Pogba, you know, he could cause Liverpool problems, you know, with how good he's been recently. And I think, you know, Eric Bailly, with how good he is, you know, he can keep Liverpool at bay. And he can frustrate Liverpool's front three. You know, maybe Wan-Bissaka could frustrate Liverpool as well because he can defend, but obviously he can't attack. So there you go. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop me comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.